Good morning. When my video comes out, it'll be Tuesday, the day after Christmas. So I thought I'd give you a wish list. In case you don't remember what I've said all year, maybe we can go and recount what would we'd like to see. Like to see a new Democratic-Republican Party. I'd feel proud to be part of a party of Lincoln, Eisenhower, Teddy Roosevelt, and so many other good centrists on the right and on the left. I don't want Donald Trump to be in office. I want the Colorado decision to be upheld as it should be, upholding the 14th Amendment, Section 3. If you take an oath to the Constitution, you cannot go against the Constitution and incite insurrection. And I take that oath very seriously because I've had my father, my son, and my grandson now serving in the U.S. Army. They took an oath to the Constitution to uphold it. I listened and I was moved. I thought it is a beautiful thing and something we should be proud of because for all these years, the Constitution has guided us and will continue to guide us. Don't let our founding fathers down. They believed in the Constitution. They knew they could die if they did not be successful in resurrecting the republic that we have. They fought for America's sovereignty and its right to exist. We owe them the upholding of the oath of the Constitution. And to achieve the kind of Democratic-Republican Party that I want, guess what? We can do it also with the 14th Amendment, Section 3. It applies to anyone who took part in the insurrection, gave blueprints to the folks who were rioting and entered the Capitol because it was an insurrection and it did go against the oath of taking the Constitution. All those folks can be voted out of office if they attempt to come back and be reelected. Then, my friends, we can have the party that we want. We can have a Congress that actually passes laws, that actually gives us voting rights, that actually does immigration reform, that actually does antitrust law, and allows us to move forward with new renewable energy. I want to see the petrostates keep their money and keep their oil in the ground. I look forward to that day when we can say we're off of fossil fuels and our nature's path is blooming again, that we can see the birds and literally the bees and the flowers and the crops proliferating in our land. And our land is magnificent. When they say they want to return to manufacturing, well, didn't have to leave. We made tax laws so that it was cheaper for manufacturers to go overseas and produce in China than it was here. It may be now the time for manufacturing to come back. But don't forget, we got trade deals to uphold as well. There's a lot of commerce that takes place in Laredo, Texas. A lot of commerce. And acting inappropriately, as Abbott is doing, is making a lot of the produce that is just-in-time production perish in the trucks. And Abbott shouldn't be making any immigration laws at all, because that is the role of Congress. Congress is supposed to pass laws, voting laws, immigration laws, budgets, monies for people. That's the nature of Congress. Congress is supposed to pass laws on the internet, just like they've done in the EU, to make us all safe and to ensure our privacy. Congress can do that if it was functional, but at two extremes, what do you got? You got imperial presidents, not because anyone wants to be an imperial president, but because there is no one else making laws and rules. I remember as a young kid debating the congressional record. Didn't matter which side you took as a debater, but there was law for you to look at and understand and take a position on. We don't have that option today because they rarely pass anything, and when they do, it's not everything that's wanted. Last year, the defense budget was $773 billion. This year, it's $866 billion. It's almost $1 trillion. And still, they haven't included all the emergency monies that we want to go to Ukraine and to Israel. There's no excuse. Why keep holding people hostage to your views that are minority views? I'd like to see all of that stop. Maybe when they get a little bit of the Christmas spirit, they'll be able to come back and vote with a heart instead of with their self-interest. It would be refreshing to see that happen. It would be refreshing to see self-interest out of politics. But it can't happen, folks, with Citizens United. If I could wave a magic wand, that's what I would do. I would get rid of the money in politics because it does corrupt. There's no question it corrupts. Look at the decisions that are being made. They're being made because of people's benefactors. It's a quid pro quo. And it's about time we thought about the country and the health of the country and the health of the country's people. You know, I understand when people are higher up in government, they may not see everyone, but there's no excuse that when you're in local politics or state politics, you should know your constituents. And if you can't get out there physically, we can do it now by Zoom. Have a little empathy for we the people. It's nice to know that in the world there are now a couple of folks in power who are very concerned about democracies. The head of Estonia says he's scared. He doesn't want to see empires survive. He doesn't want to see might making right. And that's what we're seeing, might making right. That's what's happening in the Russian-Ukrainian war. Putin just keeps going on. And he doesn't care how many Russians die for his cause, because he rewards the families with far more money than they've ever made in any lifetime. It doesn't hurt him personally. But I think if you take the $300 billion that he's socked away and we've held on to and use that for Ukrainian reconstruction and make sure the banks don't release any of that money to him, maybe he'll care a teensy. Same thing with Hamas. Nothing stops them from saying, hey, we feel bad. We don't want the people to die on our behalf. We're going to surrender. Nothing stops them from surrendering. It would be nice to know that they surrendered and all the hostages who are still alive allowed to go home. That would be a wonderful Christmas gift. No more war. No more empires. No more might makes right. And when you're thinking of sanctions, the Hamas Corporation, according to The Economist, throws off $1 billion in income every year. So it's $20 billion. May not be enough to rebuild Gaza. But we don't know what the shape of Gaza is going to be, or how many people are going to be left there or want to stay there. But whatever it is, that $20 billion should belong to the Gazan people. I keep saying, when Arafat's widow left Gaza, she left with $8 billion. I didn't see her giving back even a cent, nothing. Have we heard from her since she left for Paris? No. We don't know what happened to her and her child. But I do know that she's probably living comfortably someplace with more than the $8 billion she started with. So my Christmas wish, it would be a new Democratic Republican Party. It would be a new Congress in 2024 without the insurrectionists. It would be an end to misinformation, disinformation, lies, and a unity among all of us so that we can feel that we are connected to each other. And these are indeed the United States of America. That would be a wonderful Christmas present. And a Congress that passes laws for we, the people, to make our lives happy and bright. I see the unions are coming on strong. For the first time, Wells Fargo staffers are going to strike. I'm happy because only 10% of the country is unionized. We've got a long way to go to get rid of the inequality that's affecting us and so many other nations of the world. I'd like to see an end to this intense inequality. I want to see productivity, but I also want to see innovation. Entrepreneurs, mom and pop shops, the people blossom and thrive. So that's my wish for Christmas. Probably I got more. And I'll see you after Christmas, and then we'll think about New Year's, because my next broadcast will come out after New Year's Day. So God bless you. Have a Merry Christmas. And I hope that all of you will think about each other and have a lovely Christmas, whether you're alone, with family, with whoever. I hope you find peace and comfort and joy. Thank you.